Here I'm going to give you several tips to increase your energy healing powers. Well, my underlying philosophy or belief is that energy is abundant and free and should be given away without discrimination or thought. You only need to align yourself closer to the fundamental attributes of the universe, and the energy will always flow greater, helping you achieve spiritual progress and help others who chance to come into your auras, and they will receive whatever energy transfer they're ready for. So I see us really as just pawns, but we can be important and willing pawns because it's not really our energy. It's not really up to us who is put in our path. But if our behavior is predictable and we really want to do the healing, the universe will simply make use of us. They'll make use of our aura and energy, and certain people will just end up next to us. Now, this is a kind of naive approach, but this is how I see things. So the first thing I want to mention is that you should get a good lineage transmission or empowerment if you want to be a powerful healer. And this starts out with having a good teacher or grandmaster transfer you the basis of your energy power. So they can either transfer the entire power by itself, or they can give you a start, and within the bounds of their meditations and qigong exercises, you can grow that power. So there's basically two types of ways of sending energy, let's say, and that's one is by channeling energy, and this is sort of the Reiki type way, most famous, and then there's the so we call the Dantian energy types. These people, they generate the energy in their bodies and then they send it out through their hands. And of course, obviously, before it comes into their bodies, it was outside of their bodies. So in some sense, they're just transmuting it somehow more deeply in their body. And this way this requires much more training and practice, and you have to know what you're doing, and to be a strong healer you generally have to practice and train every day for years. Now for the Reiki style or the channeling style, you can just get a lineage transmission, and right off the bat you can start channeling and healing people. The problem now is that within the Reiki lineage, there's a lot of dilution. So not every teacher is going to be able to transmit you a high level of healing, because it gets transmitted from person to person over history. Lineage gets diluted, and that's just the way Reiki works. And for example, there's this example of a sick person actually giving energy, higher level energy to a Reiki healer, because the sick person actually did qigong exercise or yoga and stuff like that to purify their bodies, where the Reiki healer did nothing. So it turned out that the Reiki lineage was so weak that you can end up just healing the Reiki person. I'd like to mention my own school, which I believe, after I've traveled throughout the world for many years, the highest or strongest lineage empowerment I have ever found was found in Hong Kong, and this is called Sanjiao Qigong. And the Grandmaster is going on 80 years old now, and I asked him if I could help find some students for him. And so you can check out the website, sanjiaoqigong.com, for more information on that. So the second way you want to increase your energy healing power is by using your heart chakra emotions. And these are love, compassion, gratitude, trust, giving. These type of emotions that make you feel like you're opening your heart. And people can often control their thoughts. That's sort of like primary school level stuff. It's like you stop thinking negatively, you start thinking positively. once you get more used to controlling your thoughts, then you can control your emotional states, and that's more like high school level or university level. Your ability to generate the correct emotional states, and this is what we're talking about here. So you want to generate love, trust, giving, compassion, these type of things while you're doing the energy healing, because it's really the heart chakra which is the motor to it's basically the strongest energy chakra that you have. So this will help empower your healings. The next one I want to share tip is how to create strong intention. You see, energy healing is done by intention, but our intentions are basically a collection of thoughts, emotional states, and emotions. It gets kind of nebulous. I want to give you some metaphors that I've used that I have found are the strongest one. So if you think of like when you were in grade school, grade 1 or something like that, and this might be you. There's a kid who just, the teacher asks a question, and there's always this kid in the class who has their hand up, and they're like going, me, pick me, and they're almost like they're bouncing, they're bouncing, almost bouncing off their seat, trying, and that is what I meant by strong intention. If you can put yourself in that kid's body, and just feel like they feel, like you just really, really want to share something. Well, that's what strong intent is, okay? Now, you can also adjust your visual images in your mind, so like give shape to your intents. So, for example, you can think of a person holding a spray nozzle and spraying a tree or flowers or something like that, and giving them water, just helping them grow, something like that. So it's spraying out of their sort of hand region, and it's going to the flowers. That's the type of thing. You're giving it away. You're willingly giving it away. And it's spraying out. That's the type of strong, intentional type of metaphor that I found to be, absolutely great. Now, the next one I want to mention, a tip, is just to be the force of good. This is sort of like a paradigm philosophy type thing you want to just carry around in your mind. This is going to help you avoid problems or burnout, because medical doctors or any type of person in the healing profession you got to notice that these people that we're healing, once they get healed, or not even once they get healed, they just go back often to the same type behaviors that got them in the trouble in the first place. So for example, they would go back to eating, the junk food, sitting in front of the TV, couch potato, not exercising, that type of thing, staying up late at night, drinking, all that. Well, no doubt they'll run into problems, and you can get, as the healer, you might get frustrated, because how can you help these people if they're just a month later going to come down with another illness? So as a healer, you have to take a sort of broader type point of view. Just make yourself closer to the universe and be the force of the universe. Take the fundamental attributes of the universe. The universe wants to grow you. It just gives you everything possible. It helps you navigate obstacles. Think of a plant, a small flower, and for example, a larger tree grows beside it, and now it's shaded. So what does the plant do? It sort of grows sideways and around, navigates the obstacle so it can get some sun, something like that. So you're the force of the good. You're the force of the curing. You're the force of rebalancing what is not in balance, that type thing. This is your role. This is your modus operandi in life, and just keep that in mind. No matter what obstacle or what kind of problem or attitude you face, you're always going to stay with this mindset of being of good, okay? And the last little tip I want to give you is that, you kind of have to surrender to the energy. Don't think of yourself as a person who's doing something to another person, because, our role in this universe is really quite small. We didn't invent the universe. We didn't invent ourselves. We just grew, we didn't invent Qigong. We didn't invent healing. all these things, our role is just like we can give a little bit of intent. We're sort of walking around characters that are walking around. We can give intention to help, but the whole scene behind us is the universe, and so if you surrender to the power, what I mean is you trust. You think of yourself as the universe flowing through you, or God flowing through you, and it's just making use of you. You're just sort of a willing participant because you want you're force of the good, but just trust and have faith, and don't mentally take the credit for this type of action. Just give the credit to where the credit is due, and that's the universe. Okay, thank you.